In 1870, Texas was readmitted to the Union and had to get a new constitution which included the 15th Amendment. Also, in 1876, Reconstruction ended. This picture represents the damage that the Civil War did. As you know, Texas was greatly damaged after the Civil War, so Reconstruction was key to their economy. In addition, during Reconstruction, Texas found its way back into the Union. However, they would have to follow new rules in order to be accepted into the Union. Reconstruction decreased the economy and gave slaves more freedom. This is a picture of the 15th Amendment. It says the right of citizens of the United States to vote shall not be denied or abridged by the United States or by any state on account of race, color, or previous condition of servitude. As you know, the 15th Amendment was one of the amendments that impacted African Americans the most. However, it caused Texas to hesitate to rejoin the Union because Texas relied on slaves, and if they had too much power, their economy would die. On the other hand, slaves loved the 15th Amendment because it gave them a lot of freedom.
This is a picture of the Union flag during the Civil War. It has 36 stars. 1870 marked the middle of Reconstruction and when Texas was readmitted by Congress to the U.S. In order to rejoin, though, Texas would have to write a new constitution that would be passed by the Union. It would only be 6 years later when Texas would be able to rejoin the Union. This picture represents the 15th Amendment, which gives African Americans the right to vote. By 1876, Reconstruction had ended and Texas was part of the Union again with their new constitution, which included the 15th Amendment. Peace was then restored between Texas and the U.S. In Texas, African American males were then allowed to vote and became a part of the nation.
This picture shows a map of votes for Republican President 1876. By 1873, Republicans were losing their enthusiasm for protecting black rights, despite the presence of federal troops sent by President Grant to protect black voting rights. White Democrats effectively resumed campaigns of violence and intimidation to suppress the Republican vote. The formal end to Reconstruction was brought about in the disputed 1876 presidential election. This picture shows the building where they held the election. The Compromise of 1877, the last great compromise between the North and the South, ended Reconstruction. This agreement, which had its antecedents in 1878, 1820, and 1850, come as a direct result of the disputed presidential election of 1876. The Democrats believed that 1876 would be their year, but they had been out of power since 1860.
The picture that is being displayed on the screen is a picture of the 1876 Texas Constitution. This constitution was the sixth constitution which Texas adopted. The Constitution was officially adopted on February 15th of 1876. The vote for a new constitution was a landslide from 136,600 votes to 56,652 votes. This constitution also granted that all free men have equal rights. Almost the whole constitution was based off of public opinion. One of the things it provided was low tax rates and many other public opinions. In this picture, the red represents the amount of people who voted for Republicans, and the blue represents the amount of people who voted for the Democrats. The Democrats were elected in 1876, and they took full control of the southern states, as you can see in the picture. They also won 23 of 35 governments of the Union states. Many people in Mississippi began creating white leagues, which prevented blacks from voting for radical Republicans, which led to the Democrats winning the election.